Hello friends, welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. I am your host Tom Downey, here with all the latest Cowboys rumors and news for you guys today. With the NFL draft just 2 days away, no surprise we're going to focus in on that one quite a bit. So first up, is Juan Thornhill a great fit for the Dallas Cowboys? Now, I suspect that we're mostly on the same page here when I give this one 4 stars. I think Thornhill is the exact type of safety the Cowboys would love to acquire in the NFL draft in round 2. He fits so many of the different roles the Cowboys covet in that position, so it is indeed a 4-star rumor here for me. I think the Cowboys, if they can get him at 58, heck, even moving up, which we'll get to here in a little bit as well, makes some sense there for the Dallas Cowboys. He has the impressive ball skills, and oh, by the way, also played safety and cornerback for Virginia. Now, he played some in the box too as well, so he fits all that versatility checkbox that the Cowboys like to have. And testing-wise, there's kind of some similarities on that front in the way Byron Jones has it, but maybe plays more in the high-end side of it in an Eric Berry type of mold there. And why I brought this up in particular was what Stephen Jones said recently about the safety position, and he admits the Cowboys haven't invested a lot, and he don't say that they're discounting it, but it's rare to find safeties that can not only make plays on the ball, but also are tacklers. Guess what Juan Thornhill did for Virginia last year? Led the team in interceptions among safety prospects this year, has some of the best ball skills overall, and by the way, had 98 tackles. He led the team in interceptions and tackles. You don't often find those types of players. Now, I don't know if Thornhill's going to actually be there at pick number 58, but he makes perfect sense for what the Cowboys are looking for in a safety. I would rather have 2 guys that can hang around the box and play deep, and that's what happened if the Cowboys brought in Thornhill. You would have Xavier Woods and Juan Thornhill as your safety pairing in the back end. George Iloka, Jeff Heath, Kevon Frazier, maybe not Frazier, maybe not Iloka, whatever. Now you're set up really well at the back end, both depth and talent-wise. So Thornhill, for me, is the #1 target, dream-wise, for the Cowboys. But let me know what you guys think. What player do you want in round 2? Let me know in the comments section. I know there are plenty of other options out there, all of them acceptable, but for me, in terms of the realistic side of it, I'd really like Thornhill, and I think the Cowboys, based on their pre-draft visits, like him quite a bit as well. Now, another safety hitter to discuss is Deionte Thompson. Do the Cowboys not love him? This one does feel productive. I'm going to give it 3 stars as well. I think the Cowboys aren't in love with Thompson, and in fact, they might be hoping he goes off the board before pick number 58. Now, he was fantastic in the first half of year 1. All kinds of playmaking ability, looked really good, and then he just kind of regressed the rest of the way, culminating in a pretty iffy championship game. Now, he does have the playmaking and ball skills, 2 interceptions, 5 pass breakups, most of came earlier in the year, but the tackling isn't quite there. So I don't think Thompson fits the mold as well as Juan Thornhill does. And for me, Thompson is actually not one of my top 5 safeties in this year's draft class, which I was not expecting to be the case around, say, October or September. Now, for me, Nasir Adderley, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who I don't think they're there. I don't know if Darnell Savage will be there either, but I think there's a pretty decent chance. Of course, we're guessing because there's 55 picks we have to get to, but Thornhill Rapp, I think one of those guys are. Now, today's show is brought to you guys by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. They got all kinds of NFL draft prop bets on there. Go make yourself some money. That's chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code Cowboys120 for that 120% deposit bonus. We'll start with our draft talk here. How about the Cowboys staying at number 58 overall? I'm going to give this one 3 stars as well. Both the Dallas Morning News beat writers said this. Now, by no means set in stone, but I would be a little bit surprised if the Cowboys made a big leap up. Now, maybe they make a little move up for a couple of spots. We'll break down some scenarios there. But with limited draft capital, and knowing that's going to be an issue long-term because you have to build depth with so many big-name players coming up for contract extensions, you can stay at 58, still in theory get an impact player, and then maybe you decide to slide up a handful of spots. But I would be stunned if there was a trade all the way up into round 2. I'd be stunned if there's a trade up into the 30s. But maybe the Cowboys can move a little bit up, and maybe there's only 1 seed left. Maybe you get to pick 51, for example, and only Juan Thornhill's left. Thompson and Rapp and Savage and Gardner-Johnson all off the board. Now, if the Cowboys move up, here's one of the trades they could make. They could send their 2nd-round pick and their 4th round pick to get up to around number 51 overall. That's about the right value there in any type of trade. Now, if they didn't want to move up as much, they could move up to, say, pick 55 with the Houston Texans. That would only cost them their 5th round pick. So they still keep, their 3rd round pick and their 2 4th round picks. That's about the right value there. So I ask you guys, should the Cowboys trade up in round 2? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I lean towards no, with the one big exception. If we get into a situation where the safeties start to go earlier than I hope and there's an early run, maybe go up and get one. I think that would be the acceptable outcome there for the Dallas Cowboys. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Some more draft/trade talk. What about an Allen Hurns trade? I'll give this one just the 1 star. Kind of buried in an article by Albert Breer this week who said the most notable receiver available on the market is Allen Hurns of the Cowboys. Now, it's an interesting idea because he's going to count $6.25 million against the cap. Only $1.2 of that is guaranteed. So you trade Allen Hurns, you save $5 million. The problem is, even though I would do it because you get something back for a receiver who's going to be your 4th or your 5th at best this year, does Allen Hurns really carry much trade value? He's coming off a poor year and a not great 2017 and a not great 2016, and by the way, he's coming off that nasty leg injury. So I don't know what NFL team's going to say. We got to send a 5th round pick for Allen Hurns. I don't think that value exists given his contract as well. But from the Cowboys' perspective, if they can get a pick or a different player back for Allen Hurns, I'm all aboard with that move. You have Amari Cooper, you have Gallup, you have Cobb. Hurns right now is maybe your number 4, but maybe that's Tavon Austin. Maybe it's Noah Brown. Maybe it's Cedric Wilson instead. So you've got other options at receiver, and you might draft one as well. So for the Cowboys, I don't think they need to retain Allen Hurns. If you can find a way to get someone to trade for him, I think you do that in a heartbeat, if only to save the money and add another draft pick. But let me know what you guys think. I know several of you like Allen Hurns, and I understand why. But let me know. K for keep, T for trade, or C for cut him. If you can find a trade partner for Allen Hurns, I think you do it in a heartbeat. Now, I don't know if that team exists. I kind of find it tough to believe that team exists, but that's what I would do if I'm the Cowboys. Some more trade talk then. What about trading away Taco Charlton or Jourdan Lewis? I'll give this one 1 star as well. It's 1 star each, so I kept it with 1 there and did the average instead of the cumulative total there. But Dallas Morning News mentioned this as, in terms of what players could be dealt to get an asset, they're right. These are the 2 that make sense. Taco Charlton, who unfortunately has been a bit of a bust in the NFL so far, and then Jourdan Lewis, who I like quite a bit. I think he's the 3rd best corner on this roster, but doesn't play a ton for the Dallas Cowboys. The biggest issues are this. Both of these players have seen their value drop in the past year. Jourdan Lewis was a number 3, now he's a number 4. Taco Charlton went from 3 sacks to just the 1 sack. So I think there's some value for both of these guys. The problem is their value's at the lowest point. And for the Cowboys, you're still kind of question mark long-term depth at defensive end. The internal value of Taco Charlton might be more than what a team would give you in a trade. And for Jourdan Lewis, with Byron Jones coming off hip surgery and the need to add, by the way, more cornerback depth in general, I don't know if that's the right route to go. So there might be some discussions on that front, but in the end, I'd be a little bit surprised if the Cowboys traded away Taco or Jourdan Lewis, unless a team surprised me and offered a pretty package there for either of those players. Now, folks, we're talking about the draft here. Make sure you subscribe to our main YouTube channel, youtube.com/chatsportstv. URL is right there at the bottom of the screen for you guys. We're going to be live during all 7 rounds of the NFL draft, breaking down every single pick. So the Cowboys might not pick in round 1, but day 2, day 3, we'll keep you guys covered there with plenty of coverage. That's youtube.com/chatsportstv. One last rumor then. How about an Amari Cooper extension? I'll be honest, I almost gave this 4. It's going to get done, but it hasn't yet, so I'm just going to give it 3. And it's really 3.99 repeating, but I chose to round down on that one because it's my show. I can do math however I want. So for Amari Cooper, the camp and his camp and the Cowboys have discussed a deal. And Cooper says that the agent has talked about 3 or 4 times, and that he feels that they have time. I don't think the Cowboys and Cooper are really racing against the clock right now. He's under contract for this coming season. There shouldn't be any big-name receivers, maybe Julio Jones, that reset the market. We already saw Adam Thielen kind of do it. That's kind of in line for a Cooper deal. And Cooper, I think, knows this. I think he feels appreciated by the Cowboys. That's a big thing in terms of contract negotiations. And I don't think his deal is going to be that difficult. We kind of know it's going to come in around the $17 million range. That's what top receivers get. I don't think he's going to be the highest paid receiver in the NFL, but is going to be among the highest paid receivers out there. And Cooper's deal, I think, might be easier to do in the end than Dak Prescott's contract. I don't think that the Cooper contract is going to be as tricky or as difficult. So for the Cowboys, they don't have to rush necessarily to get a deal done. Now, in terms of what that deal could look like, I don't think Cooper surpasses Odell Beckham as the highest paid receiver in the NFL. I think maybe he gets the Hopkins or Mike Evans deal projected across with the rise in salary cap. So somewhere in that range, in the end, I think Cooper does become a top 10 highest paid receiver. We just saw Thielen sign for $16 million. I think that's kind of the baseline contract offer there. Now, Cowboys are going to pay Sammy about $16 million. I would rather have Amari Cooper than Sammy Watkins if I'm the Cowboys, and I think the Cowboys feel the exact same way. So somewhere in that 16, 17, maybe $17.5 million range, I think is about the right money for Cooper. So over or under $17 million per year for Cooper. I might take the under on this one. I might take it like 16.7, 16.5, but somewhere in that range, I think is the right value for Cooper, both in terms of what he's worth as an actual receiver and what the market dictates for him. So let me know what you guys think there in the comment section. Over or under $17 million per year for Amari Cooper. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.